Hello folks, welcome back to Wayfarer VCV Rack Patches. I'm your host, Dr. Lawrence W. Moore of the Wayfarer Project. In this episode, we're going to look at shamanic drumming and how to make that happen in VCV Rack. This will be in multiple parts because there's multiple layers to it. And it's not really about the theory behind shamanic drumming. It's something that I want to do and want to emulate in VCV Rack. So we'll be looking at ways you can do that in VCV Rack. And I do invite your comments if there's suggestions that you have. This is something I'd really like to do. And I think I'm finding the way to do it. At least I got the bass drum aspect down. But if there's other ways of doing this or other modules that you'd like to recommend, please let me know. But in any case, without further ado, let's get started and take a listen to what we're going to make after this theme song. Okay, so here's the patch that I made before recording the episode. Let me just turn it up here. Do bear in mind, I'm just doing the bass drum or bass drumming aspect of it at this point. There will definitely be more elements as time goes on. And yeah, so now we're going to take a look at building this. As usual, I will be starting with my typical mix setup, which is usually in the bottom row. So let me load that up here so that we start with all the stuff we need for mixing it all together. And I'm going to have to browse for it. I don't think I've opened it from that file recently. Mixer setup, here we go. All right, there we go. Now, in episode 1 of this series, I do talk about this mixer setup. If you have questions about it, I mean, you can leave a comment. That's fine, but I do explain it, just so you know, in episode 1 of the series, the whole signal flow and setting it up. But this is what I'm going to start with. I'm gonna, for the time being, have a MIDI in, MIDI to CV, because in setting up the drum sound itself, it's kind of an easier way of doing it. I will be using a sequencer instead of this MIDI input for the rhythm, but we are going to start with drums. Specifically, I found the Marionette bass drum from SV Modular to be pretty useful for this. A lot of the drum modules that you'll find in VCV Rack are going to be like synth drums, and here we're looking for something that's a little bit more natural, a little bit more animal skin on wooden cylinder sort of thing. So I've hooked up the gate to the MIDI in, and here an audio cable here. Looks like our audio out is already set up. No effects on, although there is one there, a reverb. It's not on at this point, so there we go. Okay, now this also can do, as you can hear, synth drums. But you can either change the mix level here, bottom, where it takes that synthiness out, or you could change the waveform of that synthy aspect of it by turning this all the way to the right. Now let me see. I think it sounds better when I turn the mix down, but I'll leave the wave all the way to the right too. So when I turn the mix down, we're hearing a little bit more like a natural kick drum sound. I don't want the decay to ring out too long. So that should be long enough right about there. Now it also has a sustain and a release aspect to it, but these are only just slight differences. And I found that just leaving them as is sounds better to me at present. Let's see here. We have here up and down as far as pitch. Don't hear a big difference there, but really this is supposed to be up or down in pitch, like for a pitch curve. We're not hearing much of a pitch curve right now, and we wouldn't, probably because we would hear it more over here on this side where the synth aspect of the drum is. And that is what we've turned off. So here there is a pitch called tune. And what I'm planning on doing is having two drums. I'm going to leave this one undetuned and have a second one over here. I'm going to hook up its audio. And then I'm going to basically use this as like a second bass drum because it actually sounds good to have a little bit of pitch change between the drums. But I'm going to tune that once we hear both of them going. So now that I'm kind of got this, at least this first one ready, I'm going to dispense with the MIDI hookup here and start with the sequencer. Let's just move these guys over, because the sequencer is going to go here. And the sequencer I'm going to use is from mscHack. Right up here. This is an accent sequencer. And the beauty of that is you basically, with this sequencer, have 5 different levels of intensity that it can send out. And that's cool. And it sends it out a trigger here. There's a gate in here, but I tried it earlier. It works just fine. So that top row will be our bass drum 1, and this bottom row will be bass drum 2. Now I think I need, well, I'm going to get rid of this. We're not using it anymore. And I'm going to search for clock here. I might as well use the mscHack clock, since we're using the mscHack mixer. Get it all lined up and looking nice if we can. There we go. Now I'm going to set the BPM now. From what I've read, shamanic drumming is typically in a BPM between 205 and 220. I'm going to go with a 205. Although, is that quarter note in 4/4 time? It gets a little bit confusing, especially when we're hooking it up here, but I don't think so exactly. But when I made the rhythm that I made earlier, I was like, yeah, this just sounds right. So I'm going to stick with it. So here we could hook up a clock out from the clock generator to the input here. Each row is hooked up to its appropriate drum. They are down here going in. And yeah, I'm going to zoom in here because it is graphically a lot going on, but it kind of looks shamanic, does it not? If a shaman was going to use a sequencer, it'd probably look like this. Okay, and so the way you put in steps, the steps are here with the inverted triangles at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a little space here where you can't initiate an event, and then the next 4 is here. So that space is kind of like a dividing line to show you groups of 4, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8, I believe. I don't think I was pointing with the mouse cursor properly, but there are 8. So you could think of it as 2 measures with your steps being 16th notes. And the way you put in triggered event is by left clicking. And if you keep clicking, you can set one of 5 levels. So if I click 5 times, you see it lights up to an orange. And before that, it's kind of like a darker orange is 4, and 3, 2, 1 get darker in shade as we go on there. So let me do this. I think I remember what I did earlier, and it was a pretty cool rhythm. So there, I'm just clicking once, twice, 3 times. And there are 5 times for a strong hit. And I'll put a medium hit here. This would be like the 8th note division of the beat here. Hold on here. I've been clicking wrong here. I want this to be a 1 click, 2 click, 3 clicks. Two, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. And you click 6 times, it clears the step. I didn't mean to put that there. There we go. I don't know if I did this one right, so let's do 1, 2, 3, there. There we go. Now, I'm going to detune this second drum down a notch here. But after I hear it, I might adjust that. I just kind of put it down a hair, not an exact measurement, but I'll kind of do it by ear once I hear it. Let's see if this works. Let's try that. Let me try repeating that again. 1, 2, 3, there. Trying to do a 3-click. Now I am going to make some adjustments to this, so I'm kind of guessing right now because I know what I'm going to do next. It's not going to be panned like this. Let's see. Sorry, a cough snuck up on me there. All right, next I'm going to put in a delay. And this is going to really take it to a different level. But just to kind of give you an idea where I'm going, I am going to pan these apart down here. Not all the way. Hard left and hard right. Now, if you're listening on headphones, you'll be able to hear the effectiveness of this as being a little bit more trance-inducing. Hearing that panning. And now I'm going to add a little delay to it. It's not the same rhythm that I did before. Close, but not exactly right. So I hooked up the clock to the delay earlier. And what I'm going to do is set this to quarter note if I can. Right now it's on half note. Quarter dotted. Turn the feedback on the delay. Get a little less emphasis on those repetitions. Well, the crossfade turns them up more. something. There's a way we can do a little bit of compression without losing the difference in the accents, the levels of accents from the sequencer there. Like a 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Turn off the bypass, that helps. No, getting a little distortion there. Turn this down to like a, yeah. I think I said 3 o'clock before. 9 o'clock just went to 7 o'clock. I think this sounds better than my original. Now I want to hear a little something here, so I'm going to mute channel 2. That sounds pretty good. I don't think I need to do any EQ work on it. But let's see after we add a little bit of reverb. Now before, the reverb setting that I started with was called Opera House. But we could see how my favorite, now that's echo sounds. Too much ringing, I think. But I might be able to eliminate some of that stuff with a that's adding, if you're listening to headphones, there is an interesting little thing happening to the sound there, but I kind of like it. Oh, and I remember what I also did was I added chorus. I think what we'll do is turn down the reverb temporarily, just so I can set my chorus without the reverb throwing me off. So I'm going to put these audio cables that are going to the channels on the mixer here and just go out from the reverb, the delay into the chorus. What I did is I tweaked the ambient setting here. What did I do? Well, first of all, the chorus does have a clock input, and I did hook that up. Though I don't think I really worked with the rate too much at all. Make the hits on the surface of the drums sound a little bit less bright. There we go. Now let's try adding a little reverb. And turn it up more. No, that stuff. Turn down the decay. Okay, now I might be able to EQ a little bit. Interesting. Let's go to channel 1. Okay, now we see it. But I think what I'm going to do is go to channel. That reverb's adding a little bit of something. And kind of like the upper mid-range that I think I want to deal with. And the best way of catching that is on the aux. And so I think on the mixer here, the aux will be 17, 18, 19. Nope, apparently not. Let's try 21. There we go. So yeah, groups 1 and 2 are on this mixer, but 3 and 4 is kept open in case you're using the 16 channel mixer that has 4 groups. So channels 16, 17, 18, 19 are the groups, and channels 19, 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah, 20 and 21. Well, 20, 21, 22, 23 would be the auxes, aux A being 20. So let's see if we can find this thing I'm hearing. I think it's this stuff in here. It might be this band. Or this one, let's see. Yeah, that's the stuff. Widen this a bit. There we go. There's a little bit of something in here too. I'm hearing it on headphones. If you're not hearing on you're not hearing what I'm hearing if you're not using headphones. There we go. That's pured it out a bit so we can hear the thickness that the reverb adds in the right range. I probably could have spent, I mean, I tried using the damping over here, but I wasn't able to get rid of it all. So anyway, I mean, that is pretty cool. This sequencer allows you to set more patterns, where I could load patterns into any of these. Like if I click this, well, you click the triangle. You see we're not hearing anything because it's now on this set. And it's a clear open pattern. Yeah, so I could do that, but I would be doing such things on my own time. I'd like to go back to the first one. There we go. It's weird. It's like a double click, I guess. All right, so anyway, there's some basics of getting some sound together. Let me know what you think of the sound of the drum. If you know of a drum module that sounds better for like a animal skin covered cylindrical wooden drum, please let me know. But until next time, take care and keep drumming.